All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me in my presentation for today. Today I have a presentation for ICTPD. So let's open it. Right. So in my presentation for today, this is my title, Analyzing the Best Practice of Smartphone-Based Learning Method. So basically I'm doing a review on how the smartphone is used in learning activity. This is the best practice in distance learning during the COVID-19. So we have a COVID-19 problem, and smartphone-based learning is the solution. Next. Now, for the background why I'm conducting this research, first, adult learning as a solution to COVID-19 pandemic. So imagine that if the pandemic happened like 10 years ago and we will have no option of doing learning at the moment. Well, now we have a solution which is online learning because we have internet at the moment, and this is good. Next, because we are talking about IT, if we're talking about online learning, so this is about information technology. And IT is the key element of teaching learning activities. Without the IT at the moment, we cannot do a good quality teaching. And I'm focusing my research on smartphone as a personal technology with a low cost and mobile. This is the key words. Personal technology, low cost, and mobile. This is why smartphone is good in online learning. And the purpose of my research is to find the good practices. I will say best practice, but I'm using the word good because it is not yet perfect. To find the good practices in using smartphone as the main learning media in the era of distance education. Sorry, I'm reading this because this is quite important. Related to COVID-19 pandemic. And then I will analyze the quality of learning via the smartphones. So students are using smartphones in learning on the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm trying to find out why smartphone is the best way to use it as a learning media. My theory is based on MAL, Mobile Assisted Language Learning. This is a derivative from the CAL. We have computer assisted language learning, yes, we know it, but we are focusing on the mobile. There are two main characteristics of mobile devices. The first one is it is because it is mobile, of course, portability and connectivity. This is two keywords. Portability means you can do it everywhere. You don't have to be in that institution at the moment. No, you can be everywhere. And connectivity, because this is talking about about online activity. Okay. Then text messaging. Now, text messaging is quite old, SMS, right? And it's quite old. Now we have a multimedia enabled. We have WhatsApp, for example. It's more widely used as a form of communication. We use WhatsApp all the time. We are no longer call people. We are no longer writing a short text message. No, we are having a multimedia enabled text messaging, which is, for example, WhatsApp. Particularly through mobile apps, we need, of course, we need smartphone if we are using WhatsApp, of course. And it is a good one. And every day, because WhatsApp, for example, yeah, exchanging image and videos is an everyday occurrence. And using a smartphone is a regular consumption of social media, for example, Facebook and Twitter. This is part of learning media, okay? This is part of learning, and this is enabled by using smartphone. The primary function of MAL, Mobile Assisted Language Learning, is to support language learning, of course, rather than acquisition. So again, this is supporting the language learning, not supporting the acquisition. Because again, without any direct feedback, without any motivation to be involved in a class, acquisition is quite, I don't know, is quite not on purpose, I will say that. But mobile assisted language learning is supporting the language learning. It makes it easier to learn. Now, I have the research instrument. So this is the method. First, I'm conducting a survey design involving 60 students. So I'm again repeat it. I'm using survey design in dealing with 60 students. So 60 students as my participant. And then I have a narrative inquiry. Again, narrative inquiry is like asking people in depth, like interview, but it's more in depth based on how the instrument is used. Then I'm conducting the questions is more to how to say quality of learning, social condition, and economic condition of the subject. Next. This is the result of my research. I'm having like 20 questions, of course, but this is the main. I will say this is the main questions. First, in average, people, the participants are using a screen time in hour, yeah, okay? So most of my students are using like 30 minutes to 45 minutes every hour for the screen time. So imagine that you are learning like you have to face the monitor like 45 minutes, and this is like the most. Then, based on the experience in using the gadget, most of them are using smartphone. Why? We'll come to the discussion later. So again, 75% are using smartphone rather than laptop. PC is quite old and smart TV is not everyone using, but of course, again, laptop and smartphone is the main media at the moment. But smartphone, again, winning, 71%. Next, based on the perception of the students, they have spent for around like 4 weeks on online learning. They have spent like you see 26.7% is about 100 to 200,000 rupiah for internet quota. This is related to the use of smartphone. Without smartphone, it could be much more. Then, which of the following method of distance learning is the best according to your expectation? Sorry, I have to make it I have to make arrangement here. I have to make the criteria, but most of them are agreed that they are using assignment, and this assignment is conducted in smartphone. Again, this is not video conference, but it's more like Google Classroom assignment. Discussion. So in discussion, I have found that smartphone-based devices, both Android and iOS, are beneficial for students from rural areas. This is based on the narrative inquiry. Because based on the energy consumption, because smartphone is not that energy, it's not that, how to say it? It's not consume energy that much. And the internet quota is quite low for smartphone, rather than if you're using laptop. Second, smartphone-based learning fully support mobile and distance learning. Now, this is the most important thing. Smartphone-based learning supporting mobile and distance learning as the learning can be conducted anywhere. This is the keyword. Because you don't have to be in an institution, you don't have to be in front of a laptop, you can do it everywhere. You can go mobile and you can learn like 1 hour or 2 hours screen time, you can do that. And third, students prefer online assignment rather than video conference. And these online assignment are conducted through the smartphone. They can do the tasks everywhere. Most of the tasks is like speaking or like doing quizzes, rather than video conference, because video conference will take more quota internet. Right. Thank you. I think that's all from me. And if you have any questions and for further collaborations, you can contact us on beedit1986 @gmail.com. Thank you for joining me today. See you.